Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Very excited to be here with you in this teaching symposium. As Matt mentioned, before coming to PTC 12 years ago, I was a professor of mechanical engineering and taught for over 25 years. And so it's at this time of year that I always get excited because, normally I would have a whole new group of students coming in. And I'm eager to meet the new students and experience the joys and pains of teaching and learning. Over the years, I've seen so many examples of students starting with creative ideas and turning them into reality. I've always been impressed with the creativity of my students, and now I watch your students do very creative activities in your programs. I really believe that humans are inherently creative and want to create things. Just a fun little story. One of our team members here at PTC lives on the borders of France, Switzerland, and Germany and teaches in that area. And during the summertime, there are festivals in many of the German towns where people float small sailboats down the town canals. And my colleague's young daughter saw the boats and expressed to her father that she wanted to have a boat. And he told her, okay, we'll buy you a boat. And her reply was, I don't want to buy a boat. I want to make a boat. And, fortunately for her, her father teaches CAD. And so they worked together to design and 3D print a boat. And then her mother helped her sew a sail. And now she has her own creation. I mean, how many times when you're working with students in CAD and you have up a CAD model and you show them how to change the colors, how many times do you then see the students just constantly changing those colors to make that part their own? There's just that need to make things your own. Most of all, I want to salute you, the educators, because you are so often the nurturers of this inherent activity, this inherent creativity of your students. Without you and your ingenuity, talent, and perseverance, many of our students would miss the opportunity to experience creative expression through STEM and CAD in particular. And isn't it interesting that so often the students who don't perform so well in other classes, when they get into CAD, end up being your TAs because that language is just so natural for them. When I was a sophomore in college, I took a jazz piano class. There's something about not just playing a piece of music someone else wrote, but improvising it and making it your own. CAD is a language of creation. Music's a language of creation too, but CAD is a language of creation. It's a language that takes ideas and turns them into reality. But because it is a language, it requires that you learn it, that you practice it, and that you eventually master it. When I was learning French years ago, I found it took a lot of practice to and then a lot of use to finally get to the point that I could master it. It really gives students, though, the power to create. But you as educators also need help in learning and mastering this language. And it's one of the reasons why here at PTC, we work so hard to provide resources like the new Intro to CAD course that's in the Learning Center, along with new projects, lessons, and teacher tips that we're going to be sharing with you in the coming days and weeks. We want to give you resources that you need to strengthen your skills, but also to empower your students. Onshape is really in the process of revolutionizing CAD, and particularly in the education space, because it works on any device, anywhere there's internet. We hear of so many examples of students doing their CAD homework on the school bus, not just at home, but on the school bus, on their phones. We also hear of students who formerly couldn't access CAD. There wasn't the machines, the hardware, the software, they just couldn't do it. And now all of a sudden, everybody has the same access to CAD. I really do believe Onshape is democratizing CAD. A few years ago, we ran a teacher professional development program for the New England area. And during a period of about 4 years, we worked with over 200 educators and visited almost all of their schools. I have to tell you, I'm always so impressed with you and what you're able to do so often with so few resources. Thank you for your inspiration and devotion to our youth. Teaching CAD is truly an investment in our future as you empower these young, bright minds to be able to bring into reality their creative ideas. I'm really excited to be a part of this great community and so happy to have you with us in this symposium today.